My name is Joey Balistreri. Welcome to my work table. I am so excited. I received my box directly from the Czech Republic. The company is called Craftika, and this is one of the 2 monthly subscription boxes that they offer. I absolutely love getting my beads directly from the Czech Republic. It is amazing. They have international shipping, so I think pretty much wherever you are in the world, this is available to you, and the shipping is incredibly low. They come via DHL, and this is the box called Czech Beads Exclusive. It is the cutest little box of beads. It is curated every month, so everything goes together. And look at this month, you guys. Now, there is almost always 26 items in this monthly box, but there is some extra things this month. This is their special Christmas box of Czech beads, and they have put in some gifts for us this month. So they're also mentioned in their they have a little kind of a little note to their subscribers that if you are a person that has a lot of gifts to make at this time of year, or if you do craft fairs, that they have gotten these items to us early so we can do that. Now, personally, I don't do a lot of themed jewelry or even seasonal jewelry. It's just not my thing, but I absolutely love this box, and I got so excited unboxing the beads. You'll see some of my beads looks like they're missing. They are not. I already designed 2 projects. One of them I'm going to do immediately when I'm done unboxing, and it is so cool, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. So there's a sweet little note about that in our box, and then this is the November box, and as I said, there's almost every month that I've been getting it, there were 26 items. Now, I'm just going to preface my unboxing by saying that I put a little star by 2 of these items because I do not have those items. They have done either it's a mistake or a substitution. I don't know. I love what I got, but my beads don't match up to our list. I still got the 26 items, and to be honest, I don't know what the items look like that were supposed to be here, but I absolutely love what I got. So I'm going to just dive right in and do a really quick unboxing because I am so excited to get to my project. So number 1 is this white opal silver patina angel. It's 23 by 13 millimeter. What a dimensional. This is the thing that makes me so crazy about Czech glass is the detail in a bead. I mean, it's sometimes you forget you're actually holding a bead. And then we got these 2 Czech glass trees in 2 different colors. There's this frosted one and then this emerald green one. So those are really pretty, and you know, they just do a beautiful job when they put the wash on top. Then you see the detail in the bead, and these are cool. The wash goes all the way around the edge. So there are 4 of those. You know, I see earrings when I look at that, and then this is so wonderful. I have a friend that does a lot of bead weaving and bezeling, and I may get her to sit and work with some kind of a design on this. It is a snowflake cabochon. It's a blend of light blue and dark blue, and this is a 21 by 21 millimeter. I absolutely love it. I love how milky blue it is. It does have that frosty, like wintry look. I absolutely love that. And then this is one of my favorite beads. I have a few favorites in this box. As I said, this box really excites me, and I started designing right away, but I have a love affair with Czech glass rounds. This is so classic, just the faceted Czech glass round, and these are 5 millimeter, and they are a green blue AB, half AB fire polished. So if AB is Aurora Borealis for newer people, and it gives you that like iridescent, kind of reminiscent of the Northern Lights. And then we got this beautiful little charm mix. And again, I'm a Florida girl, lifelong Floridian, so there's something so wonderful to me about snowflakes, and so this is my favorite. I absolutely love this beautiful little charm. And then there's this gorgeous reindeer. He's one of the prettiest reindeers I think I've ever seen. I just love him. I mean, his antlers, there's so much detail. What a sweet little charm. And then another thing that I can just never have too much of, This is one of my favorite colors of Czech glass beads. This is a matte gold, and it's the round faceted fire polish, and it's just a little 3mm bead. But these are so powerful in design, and I just love it for being a 3mm bead. Those facets are amazing. It's my favorite color. I just love it. And then this item was supposed to be a flower bead, and I got this instead, but I absolutely love this twisted drop bead. I love it's half gold and half clear, and I love it. I don't know what the flower looked like, but I love getting this. This is absolutely beautiful. I see earrings in my future. And then there's two more of the Czech glass faceted rounds in two different colors. These are 6mm. This is the emerald color, and then the other color was called green chrysolite. So that's the emerald, and I don't know if the camera will render to you the difference in those two greens. They mix beautifully together, but this one is a bit brighter, really like the color of an emerald. And you know, this one is a little bit more of a neutralized green. I love both of them. They both have the half gold. Love those. And then my favorite bead in the entire box is this white opal terracotta gold, gold rain, and it's a long bicone bead, and this is an 8mm by 6mm. I love these elongated bicones so much. There's something so, I don't know, dimensional about them. I love the geometry in this bead. And what I love about, you know, sometimes with crystal bicones in jewelry that's against your skin, the facets on a crystal bicone can sometimes be a little sharp or scratchy when it lays against your skin. But I love these pressed Czech glass bicones because you get the dimensionality of a bicone and all those cool angles, but they're soft, like, you know, it's a very smooth angle. So this is my favorite bead. I love the color of these. There is nothing more elegant to me than like white and gold. I just love those beads. I wish I could have, you know, 1,000 of them. I just love them. And then another fave is another 6mm faceted Czech glass round. And this one is called just crystal green. And, you know, just a beautiful, from my years of interior design, I know that green is a neutral color. People do not always think of it as a neutral color, but it goes with everything, and it adds like a little bit of life when you have maybe other things, you know, other colors, even other neutrals. So I love getting those. And then these are going to be in my first project, maybe my second project too, because as you know, I love this gold color, but these are little flat star beads in 8mm. Just love them. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And this is another classic. I love this too. These are 14 by 12mm oval beads with that little starburst in the middle. I love them. They're two-sided. I love these. I've had these in a few colors, but I actually don't think that I have this gold wash. It's really beautiful. This almost is reminiscent of a metal bead, but it is glass. I love it. I don't want to put it down. It's gorgeous. And then who doesn't love a beautiful Czech glass leaf? And these are absolutely stunning. These are the opal green and gold patina leaf beads, 7 by 11mm. I love these leaves. These are so useful. You can string them this way in a stringing pattern and get a lot of dimension in your design, but you can also wrap them like a briolette wrap and make dangles out of them. They're just wonderful. Even a really large jump ring, maybe in 22 gauge, could go through this whole side to side, but who doesn't love a beautiful Czech glass leaf? And then this is a metallic gold patina focal flower bead. This is so gorgeous. This is an 18mm bead. And again, isn't this cool? It looks like it's a metal bead, but it is glass. I just love that. And look at all the detail embossed in this coin bead. I love a good coin bead. And then this is cool this month. They put some organza ribbon in this. It is called Christmas Red Organza Ribbon, and it's a 10mm wide. Beautiful. I love this. I mean, you could do like a choker necklace with this, but I love to make bookmarkers, and they make such nice gifts. For even if you have somebody that doesn't wear jewelry, even if they don't read, I always say that, for like a Sudoku book or a word search or a crossword puzzle book, you could make a beautiful bookmark, choose some beads to make dangles on each end, and then give that as a gift along with a book. And it's just a great gift. I love that. It's one of my favorite things to make. And then another crystal yellow round 4mm fire polish bead. Love this. So pretty. Classic, but I can never have enough of those. I actually have in my bead organization a complete bin where I just keep those faceted rounds in all the colors because I love to work with them. And then this is amazing. I love getting pearls, but this pearl color is absolutely gorgeous, and there actually are two sizes of this. This is a gold pearl. It's a round druck. It's a pressed glass bead, so a Czech glass pearl in essence. Isn't it gorgeous? This is the 6mm, and we also got what is this one? I think 3mm. Is it 3? Let me find it. 4mm. Just looking to make sure of the size, but I love getting the same bead in a couple of different sizes because it gives you a lot of design possibilities. If you want to graduate things or do a little spacer in between to make drops. Oh my goodness, I love that color. It is like this pale yellow gold, and it's like satin. It looks just like satin. It's amazing. It's amazing that that's glass, really. I just love beads, and I love these. These are so great. And then I love this little Czech glass bead. This is so beautiful. This is a metallic Maria gold half round faceted 3mm fire polish, and there were a whole baggie of them, but I only have a few here because they have gone into my first project. I started playing with my design, and the next thing I knew, I was ready to share it with you. But I just love the color of this. It's so beautiful, and I love that little bead as a spacer. I'm a seed bead girl. I think they make amazing spacers. They add length to gemstones if you need it. Wonderful in stringing. You could do so much with them. But this is like using a seed bead on steroids because it's faceted, it's Czech glass. I mean, I just love that. And this is another thing that I love in this box. These are rose petal beads. They are in that classic beautiful gold. It's the matte gold, and they're 8x7mm, and they have the little drill hole right at the top, and they have all the dimension of a rose petal. So I think these are going to go in my second project. I think I'm going to make a little section of dimensional, like a little moving like rose petal section on my second project, but I just love those. Whoops, got a little burr on the end of my scrap of wire. There we go. And then look at this, you guys, a matte gold patina heart. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? I just love that. So pretty and so dimensional. Look how it has a nice like chunkiness to it. Absolutely beautiful. And then this is my other, I believe, substituted item on our list. This was a forget-me-not, a 5mm forget-me-not flower bead. Obviously, that is not what I have here. I have these little teardrops, but I have to tell you, this colorway of these teardrops, I think it's been 10 days ago now, I did a fabulous multi-strand necklace that is interchangeable, and I used some other Czech glass beads, not this shape, but I used several other O beads and some other beads in this colorway to create that necklace. And it is a necklace that you can continue to add drops onto it. And so I was thrilled that instead of the forget-me-nots, I got these little drops because I am going to add another another layer to that necklace. I've already kind of started designing with it. When I edit, I'll pop up a picture of that necklace, and I can even put a link in the description box if you didn't see it. It is a wonderful, interchangeable, super easy to make, easy to interchange design, and that was my color family in Czech glass that I made it with, and I am super excited that I got those. I mean, just love it. And honestly, these two, this is a little bit larger version of that teardrop bead, and it's the matte gold again, but this is a 6x9mm, and I think that I'm going to maybe be using these in a couple of projects, but when I do my additional drop for that necklace, I think I'm going to combine this little, let me put them all in my hand so you can see the colors. It's exactly the colorway of the beads that I used in my necklace, and they look amazing with that matte gold teardrop. So I am super excited. When I tell you guys that I love getting these boxes directly from the Czech Republic, you just don't know how true that is. I just get so excited when that little box is delivered. And then we got these gorgeous white Aurora Borealis, the AB. Again, they're very small. Let me put a few on my wire. These are the little star beads. And I don't know, it looks like the camera's kind of showing you. They literally glow. This colorway with the white and the AB, they are literally iridescent. Oh my goodness. They are so beautiful. This is another thing. I'd like to have 1,000 of these. I mean, that is like a spacer bead on steroids. So gorgeous. And then I showed you the 4mm bead, but that's not all. We got this month some gifts, and they came in a little packet, in packages like this. Some beautiful twisted bugle beads. Some of my gold ones are missing because they went into my first project. Then there was some smooth red ones and some little, I want to take these out. I don't know if this little Santa is ceramic. He kind of looks like he is, but I have a love affair with snowflakes. Oh no, he's not ceramic. He's just like a little charm. You could glue him on something if you like him. But look at the little snowflakes. Oh, these are so gorgeous. These are like, they're not metal. These are like, I lost the word, sequins. The word would not come to me, but these are in the material of a sequin, but in the snowflake. They are so fun. And again, like if you're doing bookmarks, this kind of thing is just really wonderful. You can even use a little needle and thread and put a bead through the center and stitch it right onto the organza cord to add a little embellishment for a bookmark, and then this would be flat inside a book. So that is so fun that we got that, and so sweet to get a few extra items this month. So I am just going to pause, and I can just reach over and give you a sneak peek. I'm going to pause, clean this up, and I'm going to just pull this in. This is a little sneak peek of what's going to go into my first project, but I'll just take a second, clean this up, set it up so you can everything see up. Look how beautiful this is. I am so excited. I have some number 2 crimp tubes here. I have some really tiny jump rings that I made. I use my 22 gauge soft flex gold craft wire with an anti-tarnish coating for that. So for those of you who have never made your own jump rings, we're going to do a few more of those together. I'm going to be opening and closing some jump rings, so I'll use that. I have 2 pieces of the bone color medium 49 strand bead stringing wire from Soft Flex here, 2 equal pieces, and this is going to be the back part of my necklace. And I literally have a little scrap of chain. It was in my stash. I don't even know the length of it, but I'm going to make up the difference in length with a little beaded section on my Soft Flex wire. I just looked in the camera and realized it's almost the same color as my mat, and you can't see it, but it's there. So this is going to be, I think I'm going to call it Festive Fringe. And I am also going to be using just a little clearance item. These were $2. They are a size 12-0, like silver lined gold seed beads, so they really sparkle. But look how beautifully they coordinate with the twisted bugle beads. So, and I just love these bugle beads that we got as a gift. because they are like elongated, like really long ones. The other ones were shorter, which is more the typical bugle bead that you find, but I love these. And so this is kind of the little pattern. I took some of those glass pearls, some of those little 3mm Maria beads, and I have done a mix here of a ball head pin and that 22 gauge wire. So I did most of this when I was designing. So this side of the fringe drop of the necklace is done, and my ball head pins are really fine. They are perfect for this necklace. I can link them in the description box below, but it's just a little gold ball head pin. And what I did is created patterns. I'm going to do 3 stars, so this will be the one on this side, and I did a long length and then graduating down to the shortest length, and then when I attach that to my chain, it's going to be like a really glistening festive fringe with some little star drops. So this is all I did, is one of those 3mm Czech glass, one of the stars. This is a 5-point star, so I wanted to make sure that I have the point facing up on all of my drops, and then one of those beautiful 4mm glass pearls. And then I'm just going to do a simple loop here. So I just leave a little bit of space above the bead and give that a bend, and then I'm going to use my round nose pliers and just place that right there. It almost looks like I'm doing a wire wrapped loop, so I bring that wire over the top of the plier, rotate it so that it's out of my way, and then bring that wire around, and I go ahead and get my loop centered, get it just the way I want it, and then when I remove the plier, I can come right here with the flat side of my cutters and snip the loop right there where the wire, let me get my fingers out of the way, where the wire is meeting the other wire. And then I'm just going to close it really well, make sure it's straight, and I like to, with a little bit of force, open and close my pliers so that I've work hardened. And so that little bit is done, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing. This was the other component. I just flanked one of those twisted gold bugle beads with the 3mm Czech glass rounds. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I threaded these on here just to show you the pattern, so I'll try to hang on to it and do that same thing again. Just give a little bend and come in. If you have trouble with placing your round nose pliers in exactly the same spot every time for your I am going to take these off. I'm going to end up, well, that one's staying. I'm sorry, you guys, I digress. If you have trouble remembering where the spot on your round nose pliers that you've placed it for all your loops, you can do one of two things. You can take a Sharpie marker and make a little mark so that you place it in the same spot every single time and all your loops are consistent. Or you can use your 6-step bail making plier and choose one of the bails. We're going to be using this for the jump rings, but choose one of the bails instead of the cone shape that comes on a round nose plier, and then your loops will all be exactly the same size. So you can do it either way. But I'm just going to do that same thing. Bring that wire up and over, rotate out of my way, bring it around, just roll my wrist a little bit and just make sure that I've got this really pretty loop, and then with the flat side of my pliers, or cutters, I'm sorry, just come and snip. Whoops, crash. A lot of times I use my 1-step looper for this when I have a lot to make, but I wanted these to be pretty small, and there's 3 sizes of the 1-step looper, but I wanted these to be a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to finish threading on this little pattern, same as my other ones, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just get a hold of the wire. Don't want to be right on top of the bead because you need a little space to make that bend. And then just put my round nose pliers in there, over the barrel, rotate. It's always the same steps. That's why I did most of these little components off camera, so you wouldn't be bored watching me do the same step over and over again. And just come right there and snip. And I connected these components with these little tiny jump rings. Well, that needs a little attention. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist with my jewelry, and I like to go slowly and make sure that my loops are straight and work hardened and closed well. You know, it's not a race. That's just the way that I work. So what I did is, in fact, I have the bail making plier out here. I used the smallest step on this bail making plier and another little piece of that 22 gauge wire. And so I'm just going to put the wire in between, making sure it's not protruding out here. And then I'm going to roll it against my finger and just kind of make a coil. Just keep rolling it against my finger. And if you wanted, like, I'm going to do the whole length of this wire, so you have to make sure that you're rolling toward the handle if you have a long piece of wire, so that you know what the coils you've already made can go off the end. I am very dyslexic, so I do have another plier that has a really long mandrel, and no matter which direction I start rolling, I can roll as many jump rings as I want, but I like this one too. And this one is a little bit smaller, and for this project I wanted really small loops and really small jump rings. Okay, when you get to the end and you've made a coil, you want to go back to the beginning where you started to coil. So that was my first coil, and again with the flush side of my flush cutters, I'm going to snip one ring at a time and just try to do, you know, a straight line right up the coil. Try not to go too fast. Sometimes my cutter will grab 2 rings at a time, but I try not to do that. And it's just wonderful to do your own jump rings because I'm using wire with an anti-tarnish coating, and it matches all the other things that I've done. I'm using that wire throughout the project. Okay, and just a little tip. Here where I have connected my components that I made with jump rings, you could, if you want this to be even more fringy and dangly, you could, and also if you want to add length or adjust your length of your drops, you could add 2 or 3 jump rings in between each of the components that you've made. And I am wearing this because sometimes when you're using really small jump rings like this, let me just show you, it can be difficult to get, because they're so small, it can be difficult to get 2 pairs of pliers in there to open and close it. So I am, you know, I have this little thing, and I'll show you. Just going to connect that drop to here and then get a hold of it with 1 plier. Because they are so small, you know, this is, I wanted them small, but it can be a little challenging to get your pliers in there. There. Okay, and I'm going to do another one. And this is how I did all of my little components off camera, just opening and closing jump rings. If I see that one is misaligned, I just take a second to make sure that it's a perfect circle. And so this is ready to attach to my chain. I am so excited for this. And so I think that I'm going to use these same jump rings to attach this to my chain. So let's see, let me find the center of this little scrap of chain, and I'm going to attach my longest drop right there to the center. Mark that loop with a little piece of wire. There we go. I'm going to try this smaller jump ring. I may want to go back and do the next size up, but I'm going to try this and see how it hangs. And here again, you could add a second or third jump ring if you want to get a little bit more dangle. Oh, it moves really nicely. I love it. So now I just have to work out my spacing and do the same thing for each side of this center drop. So let's see if I want to skip 1 or 2 or 3. Let me just take a moment and look at it. I'm just going to do every other link on this chain. And so it really is kind of fringy. It will keep these close to each other. So I'm going to skip that one and come to this one. Oh my gosh, I know it's a terrible camera angle for you, but this is absolutely gorgeous. I've only got 2 connected and I am so excited. I got excited opening this box. Like, this is just such a cool design, and the beads were so fabulous in this month's box. So I'm just going to continue like that, connecting these in this order, skipping a link, and I'll get them all connected, and then we will finish the back of the necklace. I did want to mention something, and of course it depends on your chain that you're using, but on my link there is a top and a bottom to each of the links. So, and I know this is a horrible camera angle, I'll try to tilt it, but can you see that I've attached every single jump ring at the bottom? So let me see if I can, let me go ahead and get this next one in, and then I'll show you. Let's go right here. So this is the bottom of the link where I'm putting my jump ring. Let me close this and then I'll show you, because if I were to hang it on the top of that link, it wouldn't hang right. So if I were to put my jump ring through this top part right here, it wouldn't hang right. So I've held my particular chain out and just made sure that my jump rings are all on the bottom. And so I have this beautiful festive fringe, and honestly you could keep going with this. You could use up every single one of the bugle beads, and even, you know, mix in the other colors that were our gift in this box. But I just think this is so gorgeous. And then the next thing I'm going to do is come to the end of my one side of my chain and put my soft flex wire directly through the link. I'm going to need 2 two number 2 crimp tubes, and I'm just going to feed one of them on so it looks like that, and then I'm going to come back through the crimp tube, and so it makes a loop just like that. I don't know if I haven't tried, but I'm not sure if my little cut end is going to go back through this seed bead stringing that I'm going to do. So I'll try. It's always nice if it does, but it doesn't always work out. And I just want to make sure that my loop is not too tight. And again, you could do a jump ring here. I'm going to thread this right onto the chain though, and I'm going to use my magical crimping plier and just make sure that that crimp tube is right in the middle of the divot. Close it so that pinches all 4 corners of that crimp tube, and then go in the opposite direction with the tool, place it in the opposite direction, close it again, and then just maintain the position in the divot and open and close and go around a few times. Eventually you'll feel that you're not doing anything, but this wonderful little plier is turning a tube into a perfect tiny gold bead. It's so wonderful. So I'm going to dump a few of these out. Don't want to get it mixed up with my little crimp tube. And I'm just going to string a couple. I really don't know if I might have to trim off that little cut end of wire, but you don't know till you try. Sometimes these little beads are surprising. Let's see. No, that's not happening. Okay, no problem. I'm just going to come as close as I can with my cutters and remove that little cut end. And now this is just simple stringing to my length, and I may string a little bit and decide if I want to just continue this way or if I want to do some kind of a little random another bead in this. I'm just going to string a little bit and have a look and see how it's looking. Just making like a seed bead. The other half of this is going to be a seed bead. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Crimp this right on and just string my length. And so I'll do that off camera. I'm going to choose a little clasp and I'll come back and we'll finish this gorgeous, easy, very festive, fringy necklace together. So I'm just going to string, 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 and I'll be right back. Okay, I have done both sides, strung these little 12-0 seed beads. I just did them just simple stringing and didn't add anything. And just a little tip, these seed beads were very inexpensive and they are not uniform. So it's not something you would use to like bezel a cabochon like the snowflake cabochon we got, because they are not uniform. They're, you know, misshapen, and but they are perfect for stringing. And the reason that I did this, and it may help some of you down the line, is that I really wanted to use this chain. It's what I had, but that's all that I had left. And I wanted this to be longer because my idea for wearing this is a collared shirt, and I want my chain and my fringe to like hang beneath the collar, like on top of the button. So I needed some length to the little scrap of chain. And so this is what it looks like, and I just love it. It was serving a utilitarian purpose, but I love the change in texture and medium. I just think it's beautiful, and this thing is stunningly beautiful. It is so fluid and just dangly, and I just love it. So it was about 10 minutes of stringing these seed beads onto it's super easy on the soft flex wire. It's very it's two things. It's, you know, nice and stiff for the stringing, but it's also really soft and malleable for, you know, making a chain. So one side is crimped. I chose a magnetic clasp, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing on this side. Take my little stopper off, and before I do, let me not lose these seed beads. I am going to separate my magnetic clasp and add this jump ring. I went up to a 20 gauge wire jump ring because it is my clasp, and I'm just going to attach it and make sure it's closed really well and crimp it onto this side. You could crimp right onto this magnetic clasp. I tend to do that with a jump ring in case a clasp is, you know, not a good choice for a piece, or sometimes I just change my mind and I want to do, you know, I want to do something different. Just want to make sure it is really closed really well. I love magnetic clasps. Once you get the pliers out of the way, they are wonderful. So I'm just going to pick up that number 2 crimp tube again and just run it through the jump ring. make a loop, go back down through the crimp tube, and I'm going to pull it down so that the loop is the same size as what I did on the other side. Maybe if it will go in, and just make sure it's not too rigid. I don't want to have gaps, but I don't want this to be rigid. So just give it a little pull, and before I crimp, in case I need to back it down, just going to make sure it's nice and fluid. I do like that it has a little bit of structure for the back of my necklace. That looks amazing. Seed beads are so powerful in design. I just love the way this turned out. And then it is the same thing, magical crimping plier, and I'm going to fit it in the single divot in this plier. Close the tool. The 4 corners are pinched. Same steps, opposite direction. The other word of advice that I have when crimping the magical crimping plier where you've strung seed beads is just to go slowly and make sure you're not chomping down on one of your seed beads and breaking it. In fact, when you think you're crimping, and in fact you're crunching down on a seed bead. It's easy to do, especially like I'm working in all gold, so everything sort of blends together. But I got a perfect little bead, and I'm just going to get my cutter and trim as close as I can. And I just have a couple of finishing touches to do. I want a little bit prettier transition. So I have these decorative crimp covers that I picked up on one of my bead shopping trips. And I think I'm going to add them over my little tiny bead, which it doesn't need it, and it's totally fine like that. But I don't know, I just felt like since I transitioned from chain to this little seed bead section, that it might be pretty to have like a fluted, this has got like a little fluting, it's a decorative crimp cover. So I'm just going to put that over. Yeah, I do like that. See, just decided to add them to this piece. So if you ever use the magical crimping plier and you feel like that bead that it makes is just too small for your design, you can, always put a crimp cover on top. See, that is just gorgeous. I love that. Okay, same thing on this side. And I find when I'm putting a crimp cover on that the best advice is to go slowly and don't be too aggressive, because it is a very malleable metal. But yeah, I just like that on this particular piece. I decided to put a crimp cover. And then I will do one last thing. I am going to put my Permalac semi-gloss coating on my clasp here, on those little crimp covers, and believe it or not, I'm also going to, these are gold-plated ball head pins, but they are just plated, so I'm actually going to take a second to brush that over my ball head pins on each of these drops, just because I like my pieces to have longevity, and I don't want to have like a little darkened gold at the end of all my components that I made. So I'm just going to go and just touch those little dots and the little part that's exposed here that I made the loop out of, and do the clasp, and I'll brush this on everything, and then this gorgeous piece will be done. Today I have to take my son to a medical appointment, so I will just put some pictures up at the end of the video, and I will definitely put this in my tray for my next jewelry chat and try on video. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, it would be a lovely thing to do to support my work. But also, I am going to come back. I have a whole nother project planned with this box. I just love the beads in this box. And in fact, this is what I have pulled out for the next project. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do that and tap the bell notification. And that way, when I come back with another idea, you won't miss it. And so I just want to thank you so much for watching. Also, I forgot to say earlier that in the description box of this video, I will put links to this Czech beads exclusive box. It is so wonderful to get beads directly from the Czech Republic, especially a little curated box. The shipping is very inexpensive, and I absolutely love getting these boxes. The Craftica company has another box that they offer every month, and I have an upcoming video on that one as well. It is a DIY jewelry box, so it comes complete with a code to a video tutorial and all the supplies that you need for 2 pieces of jewelry every month. And this month, there are also some gifts in that one and an extra bonus piece of jewelry. So again, tap that bell notification and the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And you know, I'll post those as soon as I have the videos ready. So I'll say again, thank you so much for watching and choosing my video today. And I hope everybody is safe and well and having fun on your beading mats. And I will see you in the next video. Ciao, creative friends.